appetizers. I love making appetizers, and it's so perfect that our soup group is now in the part of the year where we make appetizers. 4 of us ladies get together and we divide the year up into soups, salads, and appetizers. So the later part of the year, we make our appetizers and share them by going to alternate homes, and we love it. It's the most fun I've had all year around food. It is just so much fun. In this video though, I have the 4 appetizers I've brought to these parties, and you're gonna love them. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you could be a part of this community. But let me get started in showing you these 4 fabulous appetizers. The first thing we're making is this jalapeno popper cheese ball. All right, jalapeno popper dip starts with 2 blocks of cream cheese, 8 ounces each. I am gonna zap this in the microwave for just a few seconds. Even though it is room temp, it will be easier to work with, just a little softer. So about just 15 seconds in the microwave. All right, just a little smoother now. I have 12 ounces of bacon that I have cooked and chopped. So my crispy bacon. We're also gonna add 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese, as well as this is 2 jalapenos, fresh jalapenos that I have seeded, cored, and finely chopped. And I did even rinse them because these are fresh from the garden, which tend to be a little spicier. So I did rinse them as much as I could to take off some of that heat. Now we're just gonna add some seasoning, some onion powder. I'm actually not even gonna measure. About a teaspoon of onion powder and a teaspoon of garlic powder. Get that all mixed up. Jalapeno popper dip is like one of my favorite things to make because it has a little bit of versatility, meaning you can make this base, you can put it in wonton cups and serve it that way. That was a huge hit when I made it for my party. You can also serve this just as a dip, just like this. But what I'm gonna do for the fall is I'm going to shape this into a pumpkin, and I am going to coat the outside with some crushed Doritos, and then we're gonna serve it with crackers. So we're making a cheese ball out of this, and we're gonna form it. But the first thing I'm going to do, now that everything is pretty well mixed together, I'm going to put it on saran wrap and form it into a ball. So let's get that out. All right, I have my plastic wrap on my counter here. We're gonna wrap this up and form it into a round pumpkin shape. All right, we're gonna put it into the fridge. And what you could also do, which I'm not gonna actually do that, you could wrap it in rubber bands so it makes like the lines. What I'm gonna do is let this get firm in the fridge, and then I'm just gonna draw the lines, probably with a dull knife, and just kind of do that and then peel it off, and then we will cover all this in my Dorito crumbs, which I have right here. But first we're gonna let this harden in the fridge for 2 hours. All right, putting the lines of our pumpkin. Just got out of the fridge. So now, Dorito crumbs. My Dorito crumbs are from a 9-ounce bag of nacho cheese Doritos, and I just put them in my food processor until they made these little crumbs. All right, that looks really good, but let's get it on its plate for serving. All right, I'm gonna transport this, but I saved the little jalapeno top. So we have our little pumpkin stem. All right, we're ready to go. I'm gonna cover it up for transport and assemble at the party. I served it with wheat round crackers and some Ritz I had remaining, and I love this. You could also use a green pepper stem for the top if you have that, but the dip was delicious. Our next appetizer is triple cheese shrimp dip wontons. So I have my baking cups here and I have my wonton wraps. I'm going to take them out. I have this extra package here, but first I want to spray. That way they don't stick. And now we'll add these in here. Okay, I'm going to melt some butter in the microwave because I'm going to brush these with butter. All right, my melted butter.
These will go into a 350-degree oven for 8 to 9 minutes.
All right, we have a pound of shrimp here. This is the shrimp I always use. It was frozen. It has no tails. Tails have been removed, deveined, and the peels are off. So the only step I have to take is defrosting it and cutting it into little bite-sized pieces. These need to be cooked. I'm gonna pan fry them real quick. Shrimp doesn't take long, a few minutes on each side. I'm only gonna season them with salt because all the flavor is gonna be in that wonton, but the mixture we're gonna make right now. So let's get our bowl and we're gonna do 1 block of cream cheese. All right, we're gonna blend our cream cheese to get it nice and smooth with our hand mixer. All right, to our bowl, we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise. We're gonna add 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. We're gonna add half a teaspoon of minced garlic, 1 cup of Swiss cheese that's been shredded, and a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, also shredded. All right, we're gonna hand mix in our green onions.
This is 3 stalks of green onions that I finely chopped.
All right, our shrimp is cooked. We're gonna add that into here. All right, now let's add these to our wontons. Let's add a spoonful into each cup. Start small and then add from there. Back into our 350-degree oven for 15 minutes.
I brought them to the party in the muffin cup straight from the oven, and then when we got to the party, warmed them up just a little so they stayed nice and hot. I took them out of the muffin trays and put them on this white tray, and they were amazing. So delicious. I would make these again and again. The next appetizer I'm making are these apple and brie crostinis. I start by preparing my baguette. I usually get mine from Aldi. It's the perfect size and the perfect price too.
This is such a great step to do ahead. You can just slice it all up and put it in a plastic bag, keep it on the counter until you're ready, and that way it's one less step to do the day you need it. I love doing this step a couple days in advance. I have my olive oil spray here. I'm gonna spray each of these. And our oven is ready at 400 degrees to get these nice and toasted.
In the meantime, I'm gonna prep my apples. I'm gonna peel them and then core them. I have 6 Granny Smith apples. For this recipe, you only need 3. So I'm using my Pampered Chef apple corer, which I'm going to press down and get the perfect slices and the core removed. And then I am going to make them even smaller.
So I'm cutting my Granny Smith apples into very thin slices. This is going to be paired with the brie on the crostini. I want these super thin. I'm gonna add a few to each slice of bread. I have a full round of brie cheese. I'm going to unpackage and we're gonna slice. And the oven is still at 400. So let's open this. No, but I'm gonna take the rind off.
Brie cheese is such a soft cheese, and the longer it sits outside of the fridge, the softer it gets, almost melty and gooey. So it's best to try to do this as fast as you can. I went ahead and put each slice on the crostini after they've come out of the oven, and it was the perfect size, so they fit nicely, and back into the oven they go. They'll cook for 5 minutes or until the cheese is nice and melted, and now we're ready to top them with our apples. So at the party, I'm going to see if she can have her oven left on, which we're all bringing appetizers, so I'm sure her oven is going to be warm. So I'm gonna just put these in the oven when I get there. Then we'll have this nice and warmed up just a little bit, because that brie is best when it's melted. We are going to bring honey with us, and we'll drizzle it at the end. That way it's nice and fresh, and the presentation is best to do that right when we get there. So I'm gonna do that at the party. The other finishing touch is pecans, but I wanna make these, they're chopped, but I want them chopped a little bit more. And we'll add this on top of the honey at the very end. You know what I probably could have done? I could have just hammered this right in the bag. Next time. That's what I'll do next time. This next appetizer I'm making is a cheesy burrata platter. It is beautiful in its presentation and just as delicious. I start with a quart of grape or cherry tomatoes, and I'm gonna drizzle them with olive oil. I also have a whole head of garlic. I just chopped the top off, and now I'm gonna sprinkle it with some sea salt. I then roast these in a 400-degree oven for about 10 to 15 minutes until the grape tomatoes burst open. Now we have our burrata from Aldi. Okay, it does come with the entire container filled with liquid. Let's drain that. And then inside our container, we have 2 burrata balls. We're just gonna rest those in the middle here. I love that little sizzle. And we're gonna cut these open. And burrata is like a mozzarella regatta. It's actually mozzarella, but it has this oozy, nice cheese in the center. So you get like the best of the mozzarella kind of flavor and texture with burrata. All right, I'm gonna drizzle that with a little more olive oil and some seasonings, probably some Italian seasonings. Look at that. All right, our fresh basil. Let's take these leaves. We're gonna put all these basil leaves in a pile, then we roll them up tightly, and then we make chiffonade ribbons. All right, sprinkle that all around. Also add some Italian seasoning. And for now, I'm really gonna smush them in here, and then at the party, I'll kind of pull it out. But just so I can cover this with tin foil, I'm gonna actually just stack them. All right, that'll get us to the party. All right, all my items are packed in my favorite bag here, and something I do, if you can see under here, I have a plate rack that I use to make 2 levels, so that way my appetizers are not on top of each other, they are separated, and so that is the perfect way to bring something like this so they're not on top of each other. So we're gonna go get ourselves going to the party. Here we are at the party, and I'm adding the final touches. I'm drizzling on my honey all over my brie and apple crostinis, and I'm gonna top them with the pecans. You can also use roasted pecans, or if you wanna use a sugar roasted pecan, you can do that too to add a little extra sweetness. But I'm just adding my chopped pecans on top, and this is finished and ready for eating. These were so cheesy and delicious. And speaking of cheesy, check out this burrata platter. Oh my goodness, this cheese is the best cheese. Creamy and delicious, and the added flavor with the basil and the tomatoes makes it perfect. Our spread is always amazing. I hope you were inspired, and you should definitely start your own group. This has been the most fun. I'll have more videos to share in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.